Good afternoon, welcome to OG Dweeb. It's another hot day out, still no rain, and I'm enjoying my air conditioning. But I was digging through my RPG drawer. I have a whole drawer in my chest in there that I have all of my RPG, my books, my notebooks with my former campaigns in them, my character sheets, my dice, everything is in a drawer in there. And I was kind of looking through it, and I had forgotten, but back in 2016 for a free RPG day, I received a copy of the Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls preview pack. And although this is dated 2013, I did get it in 2016. Now, I did look this up. It is available. The softcover book on Amazon's $39.99. I was able to find it new on eBay for $31.99. It is a softcover book, paperback book. So keep that in mind. So it is a little more expensive than, say, the Player's Handbook for Dungeons and Dragons. However, it's my understanding that the one book contains everything you need, including, the Game Master's Guide, the monsters, etc. So let's get into it. Tunnels and Trolls provides the game structure for you to play the part of an adventurous hero in a mystical, magical time. Such an adventurer typically seeks wealth, fame, and glory in ancient citadels filled with monsters and treasures galore. To play, you will need some paper, a pencil or pen, and a number of regular six-sided dice, at least 3. If you explore some of the published adventures, you might find index cards useful, or be asked to use an ordinary deck of playing cards. So right there, I feel like this makes Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls a little more accessible than Dungeons and Dragons in that you can use dice in a regular deck of playing cards. I think everybody probably has that laying around. I mean, you could dig through a box, your Monopoly game, and if you have a copy of Yahtzee, and come up with enough dice to play, rather than have to, seek out a specialty shop or order a polyhedral dice set off the internet for, $7 or more. So I like that idea. Accessibility, definitely. Side note says, the mini rules in this booklet have been written for Free RPG Day 2013. They are condensed from the most extensive Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls rulebook, which is still in development at the time of this writing. That edition will contain more information about the game and about Troll World, and will include weapons, spells, character types, character races, and much more to enhance your play and enliven your imagination. Because those rules and some mechanics are still being refined, there may be a certain difference between these rules and the final Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls edition. We hope you will enjoy your coming adventures. And we go into character creation. You roll 3d6 in order to obtain your attribute scores, and instead of 6, there are 8. We have strength, constitution, dexterity, speed, intelligence, wizardry, luck, and charisma. And for the most part, they're treated sort of the same as Dungeons and Dragons, with a few differences. For example, something really interesting about strength. Strength is the ability to exert force, lifting, shoving, etc. Strength limits your choice of weapons and determines how much you can carry. If your strength ever falls to 0 or below, your character is dead. So right there we have some differences. I like the idea of limiting your choice of weapons. For example, my wizard in D&D that has a strength of 8 should not be able to wield a warhammer, a two-handed warhammer, by any stretch of the imagination. Some people play it where if you're not proficient, you can still use it. By all means, she should not be able to pick it up. She weighs 96 pounds and is 5 feet tall, and she's middle-aged. So I like this aspect. I also like the aspect as if your strength falls to 0, you die. That's kind of interesting. Strength determines weight possible, which is 100 times strength. Weight possible measures how many weight units a character can haul around. For example, if Mantaro the inimitable, I've never heard that word before in my life, inimitable, has a strength of 15, he can carry 1,500 weight units. 10 weight units weigh 1 pound. That's interesting. Constitution measures a character's health. Combat damage is subtracted from your constitution. So rather than have a separate HP, you just simply go by your constitution score. If constitution reaches 0, the character is unconscious and dying. At that point, constitution will go down by 1 point per combat round, equal to 2 minutes of gameplay. When your constitution reaches -10, the character is dead. Up to that point, first aid or magic can still save this character's life. Dexterity refers to both manual dexterity and physical agility. Marksmanship with missile weapons is determined by one's dexterity. That's pretty common. Speed is a measure of character's reaction time, not a measure of absolute velocity. Speed will help the character run away because it is a measure of how fast the character can pick up onto his feet and get them back down. And put them back down. Pick up his feet and put them back down. Speed is also good for dodging things. So dexterity and speed seem to be a division of maybe D&D, just the dexterity as a whole. I feel like intelligence and wizardry has also been divided, as you'll see. Intelligence measures a character's ability to reason, solve problems, and remember, whereas wizardry is a measure of how much of the world's magical energy the character can store. Wizardry is used for powering magical spells and sometimes for resisting them. So yes, dexterity and speed are what we would know in 5e as dexterity. Intelligence and wizardry would be your intelligence and wisdom, I believe. Here's luck. Measures how blind chance works for or against your character. Luck affects combat results and is usually the attribute affecting saving rolls, which is explained in its own section below. Charisma measures force of personality. It is not simply a measure of good looks, but it is frequently treated as such. And character races. We've got, your regular elves and dwarves, but you can also be a hob, an uruk, or a rock troll. Now, I hope my screenshots are good enough for you to see, but I'm a little bit hazy on some of these attributes. For example, elves, IQ and dex times 3 seconds. Constitution times 2/3. For uruks, strength, 5/4. I'm not exactly sure how you'd go about. This seems kind of, okay. But elves have an IQ and dexterity and a constitution bonus plus all other attributes times 1. Oh, it's not times. Oh, I get it. Okay. My bad. Like I said, I haven't looked through this in a while. Okay, I get it. Dwarves have a heightened strength, constitution, and luck. All other attributes times 1. Hobs are half strength. Whatever you roll for your strength, you only get half of it. Constitution times 2, dexterity times 3 seconds, luck times 3 seconds, all other attributes times 1. Uruks, strength 5/4, constitution 5/4, IQ 3/4, luck 3/4, and all other attributes times 1. Rock trolls, strength times 3, constitution times 3, charisma times 3, wizardry times half, all other attributes times 1. As you can see, no single race is unconditionally better than any other. Humans are often the best all-around choice, and there is almost never any question about whether they are the kind of adventurer accepted into a scenario. Humans, they don't get any kind of extra attributes. They're just times 1 for whatever you roll. Several character types. We have a warrior. A warrior understands force first, subtlety last. Warriors are trained fighters using weapons and armor to maximize advantage. They get twice the normal listed protection from armor and shields. Warriors also use weapons more effectively than any other class. They get 1 extra d6 per level for weapons. Which, that's right in line with what we're used to for any other system. A wizard. Wizard, also called magician, mage, magic users, or sorcerers, are those individuals who possess the innate ability and who have received the training to control the magical energy that powers the arcane world of magic. Only youngsters with a reasonably good intelligence, IQ of 10 or better, and decent dexterity, dex of 8 or better required. That's different. In D&D, the dex is not really, it's mostly intelligence. Will be trained by the elder wizards of the all-pervasive Wizards Guild. All first-level spells, which will be detailed later, are the basic heritage of wizard characters. Spells beyond that level must be purchased from the Wizards Guild or discovered while adventuring. Wizards can use a magical staff to conserve their energies while casting magic. And there's some more details here. I'm just giving you the short version. A rogue. Rogue stands for rogue wizard. It is not a synonym for thief. Interesting. Rogues are characters who could have been wizards, but never received their formal training. Wow, this is interesting. They have the natural ability to cast magic, but because they never really learned the art, their spellcasting ability will be limited. Rogues generally gain only 1 spell per character level, so choose well. They cannot use wizardly tools like staves or wands to reduce the spell costs. Then we have specialists. Specialists are the mutants of the troll world. If your character sheet has an asterisk by 1 or more of the attributes, You rolled triples and may have started with an unusually high attribute. You also get to select an enhanced ability related to how you make a living. Players are encouraged to invent their own specialty, to explain and take advantage of that attribute. An example of a specialist might be a martial artist because they rolled an enhanced speed attribute. That's pretty cool too. Paragon. A paragon is a character with all the advantages of other characters and none of the disadvantages. They are rarer than diamonds. To roll a paragon, you must naturally roll at least 6 of the 8 prime attributes as a 12 or higher. Paragons can fight like warriors, cast magic like wizards, wheel and deal like rogues. A paragon could also be a specialist. Paragons are in the game primarily to be used as super special non-player characters, NPCs, by the game master. Nobody likes a paragon. And now that could be a really interesting character to play. Kind of like an outcast. Maybe people are jealous of the paragon. I could see that one being extremely fun. Although, for me, my terrible rolls, it'd probably be near impossible for me to roll one. And then citizens. Citizens make up the vast majority of all the population. These people are the salt of the earth, doing the work that keeps civilization alive. These people receive no special training when growing up, and they have no special advantages. Citizens are provided for game masters to use as ordinary non-player characters and as special challenges for excellent role players. They are not recommended for beginning players. Oh, so a citizen with no that could be fun too. That would definitely be challenging. That would be great for experienced players that are kind of getting bored of the same old. That could be really fun too. So yeah, let me go over those again. We have warrior, wizard, rogue, specialist, paragon, and citizen. Then we have provisions and equipment. We have the regular weapons chart, general supplies chart, and armor chart. Wow. So, for example, weapons. To wield a great sword, a strength of 21 and a dexterity of 18 is required. A broadsword, strength of 15, dexterity of 10. And we go down the list, go down the list, go down the list. You only need a strength of 1 and a dexterity of 4 to wield a dirk. Other small daggers, strength of 2, dexterity 4. A quarterstaff, strength of 2, dexterity of 8. So yeah, that would be a mage weapon. Excuse me. General supplies, cost and weight. Warm, dry clothing and pack. Cost 5 gold, weight 10 units, for example. Armor, complete mail. Strength needed 12. Complete leather, strength needed 2. Arming doublet, strength of 1. Steel cap, strength of 1. Target shield, strength of 5. The cost, complete mail, 300 gold. And then we get into our combat, which is, let's see. The attributes affecting how well you fight in melee combat are strength, luck, speed, and dex. If you are better than average in any of those attributes, you're a better fighter. You hit harder, control your weapon better, and there's a typo. You hit harder, control your weapon better, or are get in a lucky shot. Because the average roll of 3 dice is between 9 and 12, for each point above 12 in your strength, luck, dexterity, and speed, you get 1 point added to your personal adds. Every weapon gets a certain number of dice to represent the amount of damage it can do. Those dice rolls added together with your personal adds reflects on how well you fight. When you enter combat, start by rolling the dice for your weapon. For the purpose of example, assume the character has a sword and a dagger and can use both. He rolls 3 dice for the sword, 2 for the dagger. Add the pips showing. Let's say you get 18 for both together. Add the weapon extras adds, if any. The dagger gets a +5, the sword 0. Add all that to the character's personal adds. The result is 56. The result of 56 is your hit point total, and it represents your character's part in a single round of fighting. One's opponents will fight back, of course. A game master will handle the dice rolls for the adventurer's enemies, whether those foes fight like the players or with a simple monster rating. When playing a solitaire adventure, you must handle the dice rolls for both sides. Yeah, there is solo adventures available where you don't need a DM, but that is not included in this book. If your opponent fights the way you do, roll the specified number of dice for their weapons and their personal adds. Make note of their constitution and whether they wear armor. Remember that one's foes... Well, yeah, this is a little bit complicated, so I won't completely read it out. But there is a short, like a cheat sheet here of the combat sequences and monster ratings. The sequence is as follows. Pick your weapons, roll the dice indicated, adding the pips shown. Add the weapon adds, if any. Add your personal totals. Does your foe have a monster rating or weapons? Roll the dice for its monster rating or weapon and get the total. Add half of its current monster rating or its personal adds. Repeat if there's more than one foe to fight, adding totals all together, and so on. Then there's a portion about saving rolls. Same kind of thing. You know, although six-sided dice are more readily available, in some regards it looks like this could be quite a mess as well. But overall, yeah, it would definitely be more accessible. We have missile weapons in combat. There's magic and spell casting. And we have spells up to level 5 in this little handout. Level 1, detect magic, Loctite, knock knock, will-o'-the-wisp. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Usually detects concealed or invisible things or doors by surrounding them with a purple glow that slowly fades. Here's another one. Take that, you fiend. Uses IQ as a weapon. Oh, wow. Inflicting hits equal to the caster's IQ must be directed at an individual foe. No effect on inanimate objects. Vorpal Blade. Oh, go away. Combines total of the caster's IQ, luck, and charisma to drive away foes with a lower monster rating or equivalent attribute total. Level 2. Omnipotent Eye Hidey Hole. Oh, man. Whoever named these had a sense of humor. Cat Eyes. Glue You. Little Feats, Mirage, Poor Baby. Poor Baby heals 1 constitution point for each point of wizardly used. Magical healing of wounds or injuries cannot raise con above the original level. Whammy and Magical Fangs. Level 3, we have Curses Foiled, Slush Yuck, Rockabye, Dispel, Blasting Power, Freeze Please, Fly Me, and Healing Feeling. Level 4 spells. Too Bad, Toxin. Wink Wing. Smog, Dum Dum. Reduces foe's IQ to 3, or if the spell fails or any reason, reduces the caster's IQ to 3. Oh my god. Double Double, Protective Pentagram, and Oopsie Daisy. Level 5, Mind Pox. Dear God. Oh my goodness. Allows one to ask 3 yes or no questions of the game master to be answered truthfully. Now that could come in handy. ESP, Second Sight, Breaker Breaker. So those are the spells provided with this this preview pack. Here's time, passing out experience, talents. When the 7th edition came out in 2005, Tunnels and Trolls added talents in preference to the more common practice of skills because defining a broad but finite array of skills limits the players. Instead, a talent is any skill, ability, or knowledge that helps define the player character and can be anything within reason that the player wishes. Characters may have many talents, but as a general rule, it is best to limit oneself to 1 talent per character level. The proper use of talents is discussed at greater length in the complete Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls rules. Interesting. And on the next page, we have Deluxe Tunnels and Trolls, ready-to-use characters. And we have a warrior, a wizard, and a citizen. Level 1 warrior, level 2 wizard, and a level 3 citizen, who is a troll. Although it said at the beginning of the book that using a citizen is for experienced players. So, realistically, you have 2 beginner characters, and you'd probably have to roll up a 3rd one for a brand new player. Then we have the Chambers of Zipaz, the Mad Dwarf, an underground adventure designed for 4 to 8 characters, level 1 through 5. So yeah, if you wanted to do this adventure, you would need to roll up actually about 2 or 3 additional characters. And we have a map, and we have the setup. We have the Mad Dwarf Cavern map. Each room is marked and numbered. I do have this pictured here, so if you want to skip it, well, you know, unless you can get a hold of one of these. I don't know if this particular adventure is included in the rules or not. So if you're interested in buying the rule book and want to play this, you might want to skip to the end. Anyway, entering the dungeon. Okay, it's got the monsters all laid out here. It tells everything. You don't, you know, as I'm looking at this. Here's the description. In the far southern reaches of Troll World lies the majestic Eagle Continent, wreathed in magic and crisscrossed with towering volcanic mountains. It is home to unlikely creatures, trackless forests, and bustling communities. One such community is Zakaria, near the headwaters of the Zahunga River. This roisterous city lies near the foot of Zingzak Zeriel, the Mountains of Fire, at the heart of the Kazing Mountains. Fate or circumstance has led your party to an inn on the southern outskirts of the city. You are down on your luck and have come looking for the kind of rewards that an adventuring lifestyle can bring, spreading word that you are available for hire. The setup. It looks like you're in the inn. Okay, yeah. So we enter the dungeon. Each room is, like I say, clearly marked. Everything's right here for the GM. Everything's written out, you know, the characters, the NPCs. Each monster is described. A few of them are pictured. We make it to the end of the adventure, and there's a picture of our villain, which you could probably Photoshop. You could scan and Photoshop out so you could make a handout for your players. And in the back page, down you'll load your free solo adventure. I have not tried doing this. I did look through their website. It is still there. And on the back, coming soon, one of the very first RPGs is returning in a deluxe edition. Updated rules by Ken St. Andre. Talents, new races, expanded magic, enhanced humans, more weapons. Troll World section, world maps, new Danforth art, upgraded graphics, new GM adventure, new solo adventure, and more. Now, this trollholla.com is unfortunately now defunct. I went to that website. It is no longer available. And these are available from Flying Buffalo. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little preview pack. Like I say, the actual full rules are available on Amazon for $39.99, eBay for $31.99. And yeah, so if you want to try something different, maybe you want to introduce a friend to role-playing, but they, you know, don't want to invest in all the dice and everything, but they have some six-sided dice out of their Monopoly game. This might be a good gift. I may pick it up in the future. We'll see. I kind of like the idea, some of the ideas that are different in this book, but anyway, I guess I'll let you guys go. I got to go pick up some armchairs from my mom's house, and I'll talk to you guys later.